Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Just checking in. So this is week 5 and 1 day. So kind of got the house to myself. It's quiet. I can do a video. I wanted to do one yesterday, but in one way, I'm kind of glad I waited to today, just because of some things. So real quick, I'm gonna try and keep this video fairly, you know, short and to the point. So week 5, I wish I had like great news, but it was kind of I guess it was kind of a setback week, in some ways, unfortunately. So obviously I'm standing, and I'll get into last night or back half of the day and today. But yeah, I think the previous video when I said, depending on the type of surgery you had, comparing yourself to other people's, videos that you may see online or stories, on YouTube. I took a healthy dose of my own advice this week, if you will, kind of, and overdid it. So, no, I don't think I had any, failures with the hardware or anything like that. But, the sacrum pains that I've talked about for weeks now really flared up bad all week 5. My walking became harder, it was more painful. You know, my times started to go up again as far as how long it took me to walk a mile. And getting out of bed was just, excruciating, for most of the week. It was just, because I can't always be standing or sitting, right? So, I mean, there's times where I just need to like lay down and, for an hour or whatever, read, and just kind of like let that area rest. But then, when I would log roll and, but I have good form, I've practiced, I've worked with the occupational therapist. And so I know there's nothing, like I said, mechanically wrong that I'm doing when I'm log rolling out of bed. I got a really good process, but it was just that like when I'd lean up, right, when you'd kind of come up and sit on the bed, man, it was just like that below the surgery in that sacrum area there, it just felt like the muscles were just like in a vice. And then when I stood up, it was just like, it just felt like a slow, painful stretch to like stand erect, right, at that point. And then it would take like 3 to 5 minutes of standing and kind of just moving around, for those muscles to kind of loosen up again. Yeah, and then when I would go for a walk, it was just I was tight again. Didn't matter if it was the first walk or the third or fourth walk of the day. It was getting tough, and I was, and I think that's where people talk about the mental toughness needed for this, and that it's not an always just straight, positive road to recovery. There, for some people it is. For some people, again, have euphoric, week 2, the pain's gone basically, aside from maybe the surgery site itself, right? The incision pains, or maybe some occasional tightness or muscle spasms. I've never had leg pains or shooting pains down my legs. It has always been that lower back, just like an oval of area that always hurts, right? And I know I've been dealing with this for 12 years. A couple flare-ups a year, until this past year when it just never went away. Basically, the pain just stuck, which is why I got the surgery, right, in the first place. And after the MRI pretty much showed that, yeah, the disc was like literally like pushed back, right? And the disc itself was like small. And, the pars defect is a big deal. Like that is something I needed to factor in more. And I talked about that last video. If you have an L5S1 with a pars defect, again, the recovery time is going to be different. It's going to be harder because you don't have those bones, right, that are actually like adding that additional cushion on top of the rods that are in there as well too. So I don't have that. I just literally have the rods, and then the spacer right there, right, and the cage. So yeah, I was just trying to be too active. I think, going on 5 outdoor walks, trying to do some minor, like I said, hills in the one video. And I think I was just overdoing it. And yeah, I think I just aggravated the muscles in there, and I was just pushing myself too hard. So, my wife's husband, same surgery. I didn't realize he had an L5S1 too, and he had some decompression in his L4, L5. But, it just goes to show you don't know, because he basically did nothing until he got clearance, months later to start with like PT and things like that. And I remember him at week 6, and I didn't realize at that time he had exactly what he had done down there, but I felt like he was probably further along than I am now. So now he didn't have the pars defect, but again, it just kind of goes to show that every case is a little different. So again, your story might be completely different from mine, but hopefully this is, you can take away some things from this, right? So basically, long story short, the last couple of days, I have been walking a little bit, couple walks outside. Weather's been not so great. As you know, if in real time, if you're watching this on the West Coast, obviously we've had crazy weather, more California than us, but even up here, it's been unusually cold. And it's been, so I think there's just muscle rigidness when I'm out walking when it's, 10 degrees colder than it should be at this time of the year. So when normally it should be about 50 degrees and usually damp, but comfortable, right? So, there's a lot of things that have probably played into this. But basically, again, to circle back and digress, the last couple of days I've done very little like outdoor walking. And I know too that it is more muscular in nature, I guess, in the sacrum area, because at night when I take my muscle relaxer, it takes about like an hour to really kind of kick in. But, at that point, if I have to get up and get some more water, or in the middle of the night, if I've used the bathroom and I get out of bed, again, nothing changes in my process getting out of bed. No pain, right? No sacrum pain. I can stand up just fine. So I have, and I'll get more advice next week when I go in for my 6-week checkup and they do another x-ray. I'm going to pepper both doctors with a lot of questions. I have a lot of things written down, and at this point it's one of those things where I'm just looking for some like peace of mind, like, okay, if my recovery is going to take longer, what are the answers here, right? Like, what can I start doing now to help? And I've been using the MyChart app and sending messages and things like that and getting advice. So one good thing, if you are experiencing kind of muscle soreness, I don't have them in front of me, but I do have them. Lidocaine patches and this diclofenac sodium. I probably butchered the name of it. Oops, there we go. Yeah. So this stuff has been really good. So just an example, I was usually doing about 3,000 milligrams of Tylenol a day. I think yesterday I did 1,000. Today I haven't taken any Tylenol. It's getting closer to noon. So but this stuff helps. You can use it every 4 hours. You just massage it into the area. I think usually it's prescribed for more arthritic pain, but again, muscular in nature as well too. This stuff has been pretty effective for me. So it kind of like cools the area. It doesn't have the icy hot, like pungent, mentholated smell that like gets into your clothes or in the furniture and things like that. So if you can pick up some of this, it's over the counter. I would definitely recommend it. It does take the edge off. So for me, this has been a really good one. In the lidocaine patches, there is a 5% option, but I think that one is, you have to get a prescription, and depending on your insurance, not every insurance covers it, but the 4% patches you can get over the counter. Those are really good too. Like that numbing effect really helps. And I think it also helps just relax the muscles, calm everything down, and kind of go that way. So yeah, I want to keep this under 10 minutes, but yeah, week 5 was tough. I felt like week 4 was my high point. Like I said, 4 miles a day, walking, feeling really good. By the end of week 4, that's when the pain started to creep in. And then week 5, it just kind of, went downhill a little bit. But there were some positives. So I do want to end this video on a high note that things still move in the right direction, even if you do have flare-ups or other kind of minor setbacks. As again, I'm standing here right now, this morning, again, no Tylenol, just got out of bed to film this video after, doing some reading for about an hour, no pain getting out of bed. It was, kind of blew my mind. The muscle relaxers are long gone out of my system at this point. So that was a really good sign. Last week, I got rid of my toilet seat riser. I probably could have done that sooner, but we have a low toilet too. So But I was like, you know what, I'm just going to try it, see what happens, and got up just fine, no pain. Again, I think anything from a hard surface at this point, I have zero issue getting up from, right? Bench, the chair I like to sit on, if it's a table I'm kind of leaning up against or sitting down, toilet, like anything that's a hard surface, zero pain getting up from. Anything that's too cushy, overly supportive, if you will, that's where the problems are. So at least I know what to avoid, and I can kind of like work my recovery process through that. So that was a good sign. Driving's been a lot easier, so I've been running some errands, doing some daycare drop-offs, which has been awesome. So it's been good to spend a little extra time with my son that I haven't been able to do for quite some time. So that's another positive. And just moving around and getting things. Like I've noticed, even when I had like the pains all week 5, like you start to like, when I move around, or if I like take a step up something, or if I'm grabbing something, or just doing random household things that you normally would do, I feel like I have better range of motion now too. Like I feel everything's a little smoother at this point. A lot of things like I feel like I could do. I'm able to bend at the knees to, grab something light, of course, always. Nothing over 8 or 10 pounds, but like no pain coming up from bending at the knees. So there are a lot of good things in this week. And I'm trying to, again, work through this mental toughness where it can be depressing when you have a setback or some additional pain. It feels like you'll never see the light at the end of the tunnel. So hopefully this video, if you are going through some ups and downs, that this can kind of help you kind of negotiate through that. Is that, you got to focus in on the positives. And as long as areas are still improving in your recovery, I think that's a good thing. That's what I'm going to hold on to, another good thing too, like a lot of that hip pain that I was having for weeks is pretty much gone. There's a little bit there on my left side when I wake up in the morning, but I think that's just from sleeping and not moving. Continuing to wake up on my back too, which is a good sign. It's still not comfortable to do that without any kind of like muscle relaxer or like, like a lidocaine patch or something like that, where it's still not comfortable lying flat on my back on the bed. But if I do have some of that assistance, I feel fine. And I think that's also another small positive sign. So yeah, so, it's going to be a long road of recovery, but I'm going to take it easy this week. So this will be an experiment week. So week 6 here, when I check back in next, probably Saturday again, I'm going to tone down my walking quite a bit and do more resting and just more kind of around the house things. And, if I'm having really good success midweek, I'll probably post another quick video. And if that kind of helps, but if not, I'll check in a week from now, and after I get the x-rays, and hopefully everything's good and there's no additional complications, and it's just my brain overthinking everything and just myself, me pushing myself too hard. So which is tough because I've been an athlete my whole life and a competitor, so it's really hard to tone down that part of my brain that just wants to go and get better for my family, and get back doing the things that I love. So but I know that it's that whole tortoise in the hare race, right? I think in this case, I'm going to try and be the tortoise and not the hare, right? And just take it one step at a time and get to that finish line, when I should, right? And of course, we're probably never finished, but you get what I'm saying. So, okay, everyone. So went 4 minutes longer than I wanted to. I apologize, long video, but thanks for checking in. Again, I'll see you in another week. And then after that, I'll probably space my my videos a little further apart, because I think after week 6, we'll see. I might do like a week 8 and then a week 10. I might do it every 2 weeks at that point, or depending on what I have to contribute to our discourse here online about the fun we go through after having spinal surgery. So, all right, YouTube. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.